Hello, everyone. So we are here very special, and as the program lead for women, Google's Women Tech Makers in India, she has constantly worked to revitalize, develop, and nurture the communities of women in technology. A Google alumna herself, she has also worked. She has actually graduated from International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, with a master's in information technology. She is an acclaimed TEDx speaker and also the winner of prestigious Women in AI Leadership Award, and also, most importantly, the creator of Prayogshala, an academic platform where young women get to learn things and begin their career in tech. We can't think of a better suited person for for women who can explain the importance of hackathons and recount her journey as a woman in tech. Please welcome Miss Sivramakrishnan.
It's incredible to have you here.
Thank you so much, Lokesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you can see my slide. Okay, great. Lokesh, can I take it ahead from here? Great. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I know this, this hackathon, which you've all been part of, might be, a really stressful 36 hours, but I'm sure the experience that you've gained from this activity or from this hackathon is going to be immense. And I am just going to be sharing my bits on how could you potentially perfect your pitch that you would be giving to your judges and become those exciting winners of the hackathon. Um, as Lokesh introduced me, I'm Lakshya Shivram Krishnan. I work with the Google Developer Relations team. And I'm just going to be talking to you about my own experiences with communities, with taking part in various events, hackathons, etc. And sort of also give you some advices on how can you potentially perfect your presentation or your pitch that you're going to be submitting to the judges today. So hope as a part of the valedictory function, this will really be helpful to all of you taking part. Firstly, let me also wish all the women out here a happy International Women's Day month, and to all the allies like Lokesh and the others for being such strong advocates for women in technology. So here's about me. I The four things that are really valuable to me is sort of, obviously diversity and inclusion. I've spent about 4 years in sort of building strategies and conducting researches for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Um, and through the process, I also developed a strong network with various other women in tech communities, with other diversity and inclusion champions, and more importantly, some of the organizations that support women in technology, especially in this country. Another strong pillar that I'm really interested is data science and machine learning, and I'm sure many of you would have used, strong components of that in building your solutions for today's hackathon. And sort of, this passion even strengthened when I applied to one of the Analytics India Magazine Awards in Rising 2020, and I was awarded the Women in AI Leadership Award. And all this started. Obviously, it's not like an overnight, success. It started years back when I initially started off with an Analytics India's engineer certification, and then went on to sort of work in this domain, develop deep interest, expertise, and passion, which essentially led me to the award. So it's going to take time, but appreciate it and enjoy the journey is what I would like to say. Um, I'm also deeply passionate about leading both, leading myself well to live a very mindful life, and also to enable and empower more women around me, especially women in their early careers, to sort of help them think big, dream big, right? They say sky's the limit. So I've had a very profound experience in 2020 with the Lead Like a Girl Fellowship. And that's where I got an opportunity to sort of create this online 1 week boot camp for women in technology, which was called Prayogshala. I'm also an I Am Remarkable facilitator. So my strength really lies in adding some method to the madness around. And of course, by both practicing and teaching others to practice empathetic leadership. Lastly, I think a very strong component of who I am today is definitely the communities that I have been associated with. It's more than a decade that I've been associated with various tech communities in India. And, over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been instrumental in sort of nurturing and scaling the Women Tech Makers program for India, along with working with multiple other communities. So I'm always striving to find ways to sort of pay it forward. And that was about me. So with that context, I just want to throw some light on so these are some of the communities that I have been associated with for the last 10 years. But what's even more important is me talking about some of the critical pieces that is probably very relevant in any community, vertical. And you could also tie a lot of these elements into participating in hackathons like the Women Techies 2021. So couple of things. I think it's always important for us to have this growth mindset, this sort of thirst for learning and improving and knowing that we're all not born with this, with this luxury of, say, being great coders or, being great at something. It takes years of practice and hard work. So some of the components that you could probably consider is it doesn't matter whether you're speaking at a community event, taking part in a community hackathon, but look for ways to innovate. Can you and your couple of your friends or you individually build new proof of concepts, try and understand the latest trends and technologies through hands-on projects? And some of these validations could come in by taking part in a lot of hackathons. They not only will help you sort of break open your imposter syndrome where you feel that you're not good enough, but it will also ensure that the companies out there have an eye on you. The communities out there have an eye for you. If they think you are a potential fit into your organization, into their organization, this could be a great addition to you as an individual. The second thing that I would like to talk about is experiment, right? Sometimes we're so afraid to take risks that we sort of are very happy doing what we are asked to do, right? It's going to be very easy for you, to just attend your classes, submit your assignments, ace your internals, do well in your final exams, and move to the next semester. But is that what you're going to remember 10 years or 15 years down the lane? How are you not only enjoying, things other than your academics, but how can you sort of train yourself to be more industry ready when you move out, right? And experiment could manifest in multiple forms, right? It could be about learning something new that you're really passionate about. And that could be anything. That could be a sport, that could be extracurriculars, that could be any leadership project, any corporate social responsibility project. It could be anything, but find that passion, And for all you know, your passion might just be coding, taking part in all hackathons. Last week I spoke to a woman who said that she's won all the hackathons that she's been part of, and I was amazed. I was like, wow. But that comes with a lot of learning, with a lot of taking risks. So continue to learn, and while you learn, please also share and teach others around you, so that together we can rise. The third important aspect is create, right? And this sort of, there's a very thin line between creating something and really innovating and experimenting. So given any opportunity for you to build something new, it could be with having technology as an enabler, it could be with providing resources to people around you in the topics of your expertise, or it could also be, say, something as simple as you learn the latest technology and you're blogging about it, right? But create these artifacts for yourself, because they actually add on to your net worth. And fourth, I would say evolve, right? We're all learning where you were probably 2 3 years back. Probably most of you would not even have entered your college, right? But we're all learning constantly, and have that mindset of wanting to be a better version of yourself. It's not about comparing yourself with others. It's about wanting to improve, wanting to just evolve and be a better person, right? And a lot of these values like empathy, resilience, and all comes from us looking inward and sort of evolving ourselves. Finally, remember to pay it forward. Today, you have the Ananyas and the Lokesh in your college because they have received so much from the community, and they're sort of paying it forward with initiatives like this. Find ways to pay it forward. It could be through your junior, it could be for your juniors, it could be for people around you. But it's that we all receive so much from experiences like these hackathons and just community engagements, but we often forget to give back, right? And for us to keep this ecosystem going, we all need to strive to pay it forward. So keep that in mind. With that, I think I would quickly move into 6 ingredients which I think are important for you to present yourself effectively. And it could be in any technical presentation, it could be about a story that you say, it could also be about your hackathon pitches, right? So the 6 ingredients that I'm going to be speaking about, the first of which is substance, right? And why is it important? Because it's sort of the hook, which is like the real content, what you're going to what you're going to share, what is going to be your substance, is actually going to give you the credibility, right? And it's going to be a takeaway for all the audience. They're going to take this away from away from the session you take. And that's why it is so important to ensure that you have your idea presented perfectly. It could be an idea, it could be a way of seeing or doing things, it could be your own perspective at something, but how is it that you're going to articulate and actually add to the existing knowledge that your audience possesses, right? And there are multiple ways to do it. We can create it from our own knowledge, experience, expertise, and also show some credible examples which say that yes, I can trust him or her, right? The second important ingredient that I would like to talk about is simplicity, right? It's important to have a very crystal clear message, because many of your audience might perceive, it might be a very new topic for our audience, right? Or a very new idea that you're going to be pitching, and they would not have thought of something like that, right? So for you to sort of make it easy for them to retain that content, and really strive for simplicity in delivering that clear message is very important. Don't crowd your presentation decks. Keep it simple. Use bullet points. Use minimal text as possible. Try and convey with architecture diagrams, with images, videos. If possible, use a lot of infographics and statistics, right? Because they say data is the new oil. So it really makes the message very easy to grasp. The audience or the judges will sort of you create that stickiness factor, right? And it obviously takes a lot of lesser brain space if you're sort of going to put yourself on your user's shoes and make the content very easy for them. This could also be through like GIFs or videos or very interactive animations, right? The third ingredient I want to talk about is humanize. Look for ways to humanize. This is extremely difficult because you're trying to really connect with your audience in an emotional level, right? So it's okay to be vulnerable. You have to be authentic, right? Reveal more of yourself. What are your values? What is your purpose? What is it that has really driven you to come up with a solution like this? You could talk about personal stories and anecdotes which really strike that emotional connect with your audience and your judges, right? And you could emote with your facial expressions, body language, with the way you interact with your audience. All of these are very, very crucial in sort of ensuring that your presentation or your pitch is really at its best, right? And this also enables the audience to sort of relate better to it, creates that relatability quotient. And really, essentially, emotions are the primal connectors, right? So you can really look to strike a chord there. The fourth ingredient that I want to talk about is take pauses, right? This is sort of the space for your audience to process all the information that you're giving them, right? Sort of take mental notes. And if you're going to rush through a presentation, it's going to be a real overload or really overwhelming for the person who is listening to you. So give those reflective breaks. Listen. Sometimes it's important to, if you're engaging in a conversation, if your judge wants a follow-up question, it's important to listen to them and then sort of present your point of view, right? Again, ensure that while you're talking through your PPT, it's not very crowded. It's very easy for the receiver to sort of internalize, assimilate what you're saying, and really reflect about it, right? The fifth one that I want to talk about is interaction, right? And there's ways with which you could interact with your audience. It's also sort of an entry point that helps you connect directly with them, right? What is it that the audience feels? How are they sort of contributing to this entire presentation while you are on stage? How can you engage them equally, if not more? Right, and this is a perfect chance for you to give and take. Like while you are also giving them information, you might have tons of learnings, right? So think about having some time and space for question and answers, or sharing experiences, or just reflections and sharing, right? Because people will always remember what they have seen and heard, but it's even important to for you to sort of exhibit the feeling of how they feel, right? Really ups the energy, so try and include that element. The last element I want to talk to you about is delight, right? And what do I mean by this is, what is that X factor that your POC or your presentation is adding, right? How is it adding value to your audience? Think about, can you create those temporary delays? That's respite. Can you create those respites, that instant of relief, or really that dopamine hit where your presentation is something very unusual, or something that really saves the presentation from flatlining, from being very monotonous, right? It could be humor, it could be some cheerful images and videos, some personal experiences. It could be anything, but it is the real connector. This delight serves as a real connector and really adds the spice to your presentation. So with that, multiple things go into delivering a perfect pitch: your attire, your energy, how you speak, how you show up, how authentic you are, your stories, your confidence, and so much more, right? So good luck to you for all your pitches. Some more best practices about sort of just giving any technical pitch. It could be for a hackathon or just a information dissemination session, but really try and know your audience. If you try and know whom are you building for, right? If you are building voice assistant, who are going to be your audience? Is it going to be people like you and me? Is it going to be senior citizens? Is it going to be people from rural India? It's very, very important to know your audience well. And it takes even more time and expertise for you to sort of master the art of calibrating your talk or your pitch to different levels of audience, right? How can you sort of be inclusive to everybody who's in the room? I would say it's more of an art, right? The rule of three really works. Can you, instead of saying one complicated word, readable, don't make it with too much text, just keep the bullets, don't make it too wordy. If you have code, try and create movement of code and don't stuff all the code into one slide, right? And have backup for your network. And all these are real important elements towards sort of really delivering a perfect pitch. With that, I would like to give a shout out to two events that I'm going to be associated with. That's happening over the next 2 weeks. One is the Women Tech Makers International Women's Day Summit, which is happening on the 20th and 21st of March between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. We're going to be having workshops, technical talks, lightning talks, panel discussions, and a lot of goodies to be won as part of this summit. So if you're interested, head over to iwdindia.in and take a look at yourself on the agenda, the speakers, and all that the summit entails for you. The other thing that I also wanted to tell you is Prayogshala is back. I did about 6 cohorts last year, and it was pretty much well received by all the participants. I've come back this year, especially on the occasion of International Women's Day month, to do my next cohort, which is happening between March 29th and April 3rd. So if any of you are interested, bit.ly/register-bootcamp is where you can head over and register, and we'll get back to you with the next steps. On that note, I would like to say a big thank you for this opportunity and good luck to all of you. Hope some of these insights also help you perfect your pitches and really master that hackathon that you all took part in. On that note, I would also like to mention that opportunities like hackathons like these, while it is always great to be a winner, I think it takes a lot of courage to even participate in them. So give yourself a pat on the back.
That was an incredible session.
For sort of being part of this experience that you've been, as part of Women Techies 2021, and just enjoy and savor the experience. And also, it's always a cherry to the cake when you sort of win it. So try perfecting your pitches and go for the kill. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, on that note, we have just received the word on the teams that are going to make their final pitches. After a great deal of deliberation by our judges, we have come to the 10 teams that are going to be making their final pitches.
Are you ready? All right. We've got our first team, Team Sacred Names. Okay.
Team 2, Gucci Gang.
Team 3, Team WandaVision.
Team 4, Tech Divas.
Team 5, Lollapalooza.
Team 6, Ravan Sena.
won on that one. That team won.
And finally, Team 10. Team Trouble Hooters. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, everybody.
The list has been put up on the announcement channel on the Discord server, so please check out in case you have missed out. So big congratulations to all the teams that have made it, and also to all the people who made it this far. We are really proud of you, and believe me, it is really difficult. So what you have achieved now is nothing short of brilliant. So good job, guys.
Okay. Final pitches will begin at 7 p.m. on Airmeet. You're expected to be ready. And yeah, go get it.
Get them.
All the best.
All the best, guys.